So I'd like to introduce you all again to Craig Hanson. He's the Director of People and Ecosystems here at WRI. He's been instrumental in helping me get ocean inspiration out into the public and has offered generously this space for us to convene here with these two panels. The proceeds from Wednesday's event go in part to Reefs at Risk, and so it's really important for us to talk about the causes. And the panel earlier talked a little bit about what now, what do we do? Well, this is one of the things that we can help support and one of the things that we can do. So, Craig, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thanks, Elaine. Thank you all for coming today. I think everyone here has been inspired by somebody to care about the world's oceans and all therein. I know, Jacques Cousteau was one of my inspirations too as a young child, like many of you watching television shows, and I still have on my bookshelf at home The Silent World. It's an old tattered version, as I was telling folks 2 days ago. My brother's the one that tattered it, I'm the one that read it. Coral reefs are basically, as many people say, the rainforest of the sea. And there are many episodes of Jacques Cousteau's show and many trips that basically opened up to the eyes of many of us this wonderful world, this wonderful seascape known as a living coral reef. WRI, this institution, more than 12 years ago, did the first global assessment of the health and conditions of the world's coral reefs. Imagine that. It was 1998 that the first time somebody did a global assessment of the world's coral reefs. It tells you how far behind we are on marine ecosystem conservation compared to the land-based systems. We hear all the time about forests, but there's a rainforest in the ocean as well. We recently updated that analysis. The technology is better and the threats are even worse. And 3 months ago we launched this with a lot of conservation and academic partners, Reefs at Risk Revisited. Again, a global assessment looking at data from the past couple of years on the world's reefs. I'm going to share with you, in the spirit of videos, a short 3 to 4 minute video that summarizes the findings of Reefs at Risk Revisited much better than I could do with my own tongue. So let's turn.
Coral reefs, havens of biodiversity, are home to 1/4 of all marine species and provide benefits to hundreds of millions of people around the world. Throughout the tropics, coral reefs protect shorelines, provide food, and attract tourists, creating jobs and strengthening economies. Reef species are also being used in treatments for cancer, HIV, and malaria. But today, coral reefs are at risk. They face local pressures from overfishing, poison and blast fishing, pollution from land and sea, and unchecked coastal development. They face global pressures as well. Increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is leading to warming seas, triggering coral bleaching, which leaves reefs weakened and vulnerable. Carbon dioxide is also increasing the ocean's acidity, inhibiting coral growth. These local and global pressures build on each other to weaken the world's reefs, making them susceptible to disease and even death. Against this backdrop, the World Resources Institute and its partners have released Reefs at Risk Revisited. This groundbreaking global analysis presents the most up-to-date maps and the latest information showing where reefs are impacted today, what is the cost of these impacts, and how climate change will increase threats in the future. Reefs at Risk Revisited finds that worldwide more than 60% of reefs are already threatened by local pressures. If climate change continues unchecked, 90% of reefs will be threatened by 2030, and nearly all reefs will be threatened by 2050. Reefs at Risk Revisited is a wake-up call. It gives policymakers, coastal managers, and community leaders tools they need to take action. By nature, coral reefs are resilient. They can recover if we act now to reduce local pressures. Sustainable fishing, reduced pollution, and better coastal management will buy time for reefs. But ultimately, we must lower our carbon emissions in order to save coral reefs. Government officials, business leaders, and individuals need to commit to protecting coral reefs. Together, we can save our reefs, their beauty, and their value.
So that's a lot on the risk side. Let me just share a few moments on the rescue side. There's a lot of things we can actually do. I'm an optimist by nature. I think the challenges are great for the world's coral reefs, but I think the opportunities are even greater. As long as we can raise awareness among citizens, among governments, among the private sector of the value that reefs actually provide, not only for biodiversity, but for human well-being, I think we actually have a chance. Going forward, WRI will be launching an initiative, Rescuing Reefs at Risk, which will aim to do three things. First of all, raise awareness and build political will towards conserving the rainforests of the sea. And we're pleased to be working with Cousteau on this and with many other organizations, too, who share our mission and our values. Secondly, we're going to be working towards building the right policies to protect reefs. One of the most important policies, actually, is creating more marine reserves. Today, about 23% of the world's coral reefs are formally, at least on paper, in some type of form of protection. But the vast majority of those reefs are actually in Australia. So one of the challenges before us is to get more of the reefs around the planet actually into some type of conservation or protected area status outside of Australia, and actually improve the management and financing of those protected areas, because a park only on paper is no park at all. And finally, one thing we noted in our research was that a lot of countries actually have good reef protection laws on the books. They've got laws against fishing and overfishing of near reefs. They have laws against laws governing how close you can build a resort to the shoreline. They have laws governing how close you can have agriculture go up to the stream to prevent the sediment from coming from the stream and smothering the reefs on the shoreline. But too often, those laws are not enforced. And so one thing that we want to do, taking inspiration from many events we've all seen around the world over the past several months, if not past few years, is harness the power of modern technology. Modern communications technology ranging from Google Earth Maps, which we now have online. You can go to Google and see all the world's coral reefs. We've put that up there as part of our work. And the threat status of those reefs. You can actually go when you're diving and take a photograph, geotag it, and upload it to our system so actually other people can see the status of those reefs. Imagine a world where you're out on a tour and you see a trawler go into a marine park. Imagine the ability to be able to take your smartphone, take a photo, hit a button, and have that automatically posted online for everyone to see, for the local newspaper to see, for the government to see, right? The power of transparency for protecting ecosystems is so powerful. We've seen this work in diverse places recently with forests. I think we can harness that technology for coral reefs as well. So I hope you actually join us, support WRI, support other organizations who share our mission and values. So I think at the end of the day, we can save the rainforest of the sea. So thank you very much.